VTubers have been on the rise since 2020. I mean, that was a time when, you know, everyone was basically locked at home. It's when Minecraft had a huge resurgence. I mean, there was Technoblade, Tommy Innit, the guy with the face mask, the guy that does the DJ sets now. But VTubing is a enormous industry. You know, you got HoloLive, VShojo, Covercore, which to be fair is a parent company of HoloLive. Believe me, I have done the research here because I am so scared of getting anything wrong, because VTubers, like if you get anything wrong in their scene, they will come for you. They will deploy Agent 47 to come to your house and basically shoot you with a silver baller. And one misconception people have is this whole VTuber scene is just kept online. It's definitely not. It is breaking out into the mainstream. Like, for example, this show that HoloLive did at the LA Dodgers game. You know, there was light displays. There was one of the VTubers that was also basically singing the anthem. I'll be honest, I have no ill will to VTubers whatsoever, but that example of that character singing on the screen, it kind of reminded me of this one expo with this anime VTuber avatar, and he was singing. And as soon as the hair moved out the way and showed his face, every single girl in the stadium went feral. One thing that amazes me about that clip, I do not hate any person in that room that was, like, you know, soy facing over that guy's eye reveal. But the only thing that amazes me is how can you get so hyped over a character that's like, he's doing this the entire time. Now, this event was really well planned out, to be fair. It wasn't just like, okay, let's have a baseball game and then just stick like a bunch of VTubers there. They very well integrated it. I mean, you know, there was cardboard cutouts, there was light shows that I was talking about. But despite all that, unfortunately, as you know, because you clicked on this video on this channel, there's going to be some spicy VTuber drama. Now, in the community of VTubing, there is just always drama pretty much every single day of every single week. Now, some of you might be aware of the Good Smile company. They're known for doing a bunch of different models, like, for example, Nendroids, which are essentially these little, like, kind of chibi figures of like your favorite character. I'm really trying to not say Funko Pop right now. You have no idea how close I'm trying to not say Funko Pop. But they also have a lot of partner companies that have worked with VTubers in the past. So a couple of days ago, they announced they were doing an official Nendoroid. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, I'll be honest. I'm trying to not say Funko Pop. They were doing a Nendoroid with a VTuber called Filian. Now, Filian is by far one of the biggest VTubers in the community that's independent. Actually, she's the 4th largest VTuber in the entire world. So you'd think the 4th largest VTuber in the entire planet, like, you know, she's getting her own model. Surely everyone would be soy facing. Everyone's going to add it to their collection of little Nendoroids Funko Pops. No, because let me preface this real quick. The post announcing that the Nendoroid was going out, that's been removed now. So before I go into why everyone got really angry, let me just set the scene. So obviously they announced it, and then Filian actually quote tweeted it going, uh-oh, you know, kind of like a little semi-sarcastic thing. This has aged terribly. So the problem with this merch being sold is Filian's model and Filian's, I guess, presentation. So if you look at Filian's model, you can't really see anything that, you know, stands out of the ordinary, like nothing like overtly terrible of why Filian is being cancelled. The main problem with the model itself is the base model was actually made by an artist called Jingo. This is a Japanese artist, and the model that they actually named this one off is called Rindo. Now, I do want to clear up the air. Filian did not just, you know, steal this model one-to-one, but obviously, if you look at the comparison image, Jesus, you know what I feel like I'm doing? You know, last video, how I talked about, you know, people finding out that, like, Sketch did an OnlyFans and they like compared birthmarks on his head and stuff. I'm basically doing the same thing here. But yeah, if you look at the two models, you can see the ears are pretty much the same length. There's that little tuft of hair as well, and also I guess like a X-shaped hairband going across the head. But even then, right, you're gonna label me as a coper, right? It's like, oh, I mean, so many VTuber characters like shared similar qualities. Like well, why are you being so harsh, bro? Why are you being so cynical, Pyro? Well, unfortunately, she basically came out herself saying that yes, she did take the model and she paid nothing for it, which again, one of the most poorly aged videos of all time. Now, obviously, that video isn't an admission of guilt. You can tell, like, she's being so semi-sarcastic the entire time.
Glad that you like this model that I paid $0 for and I'm using for free.
And on top of that as well, there is nothing wrong with using, like, free base models. But this model that Filian is using is just essentially a recolor. And even then, like, to make an entire video on this, that's such a stretch. It's like, oh, she took a free-to-use model and then recolored it. Ooh, big whoop. But I think the biggest problem with this is the fact that she's making making merch off it. She's making tens or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars off basically someone else's work with basically zero credit. Now, I really did want to give benefit of the doubt here. You know, I scoured the entire internet and I tried to find some example of Filian basically reaching out, being like, hey, can I use this model? Can I maybe use it for merch? And Jingo, the original artist, you know, fully consents. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. And Jingo has actually put out a tweet themselves, basically saying that they had no idea that Filian was even using it for merch. So obviously the entire tweet they put out is in Japanese, but using basic translation. Again, I'm hoping this is an okay translation, better than Google Translate at least. Hello, I'm Jingo. This morning, we received many inquiries regarding the announcement made on the Good Smile Company account about the production of a Nendoroid figurine of the VTuber Rindo. I was currently traveling when I contacted you, so I took some time for me to find out the situation. Regarding the production of the VTuber Nendoroid figure based on Rindo, I was unable to receive any prior contact from Good Smile Company or the VTuber regarding production-related matters. From my perspective, I was very confused on the fact that a company was planning to produce a figurine based on my character and that I had never heard anything about this. We have currently contacted Good Smile Company and the VTuber in question, and we are waiting a response. It's not an individual issue, so it's going to take some time for everything to come together. Please be aware of this and be patient while we wait for the results. Now, what I want to do is look at an example of someone that did a similar thing, but they also tried to help the original artist in question. One example I saw that people were discussing a lot and bringing up as a counterpoint is someone called Neuro. Now, this is someone, again, like Filian, who used a free model in the past. But as she gained a following, she then actually used the money that she got from her following to commission a completely original model. Now, this model is original, but it still has, you know, likenesses to the original base model that she used. Now, should Filian lose her entire career and be cancelled into the high heavens? No, not really. I just think she needs to, you know, credit the original artist, maybe pay out some royalties, or, you know, maybe just even like a little, oh, I'm sorry. Obviously, do it with the ukulele and do it with tears and maybe a dog in the background that's also sobbing, and then I might be happy. Now, usually what happens on Twitter when they found a target, they go straight for the jugular, they go straight for the throat. Like, for example, here, there's this like clip of someone basically speedrunning doing a paint over on Rindo's design. Basically showing that the model that Filian uses is the exact same, just with some minor tweaks. I've seen claims that she's been racist. Some of her mods are the P word. She has like AI art in her tags for fan art. But again, this is always what happens. Whenever there's like any kind of drama that you're thrown into, people will always try to bring up like every single instance at once as a way to kind of like body you. And I've looked around to try and find any claims, but most of it seems to be people just like kind of saying, oh, well, I heard it from someone else. And then the only thing I could find is like by going through her art hashtags, I could see people that were doing AI art for her, which is like oh, AI art that deserves an entirely different video. How dare you compare my strokes on a tablet as opposed to you typing in funny prompts on a website? Lazy! You should go to the gallows for that one. Yeah, what's the moral of today's story? Don't be a VTuber. Simple as.